What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Pauly B TV. Got another story for you today. So this was 10 years ago. This was in 2014. I was 18 years old, and a bunch of my friends went off to college. I was working at Office Depot at the time trying to join the Navy, so I wasn't experienced in any of this. So my buddy Cole hits me up, and he's like, bro, hits all of us up, all the homies. And he's like, y'all should come up. We should play Destiny. Destiny had just come out. So we all went up there, we played Destiny, but the thing was, I had no experience with college and I had no idea what it was actually like because all I had seen about college was cool guy movies and stuff, like where the cool, jock football player gets all the girls and stuff. I thought that was real. So in my mind, I thought that as soon as we got there, we were going to be like drowning in women. I was like, bro, these girls are going to be all over us, like... It's going to be crazy. So I wore a suit, like an actual business suit to this because I was like, they're going to want us anyway, guaranteed. But maybe if I wear the suit, it'll put little extra points for me, Just, these are the things we got to learn when we're growing up. Obviously, that's not what college is actually like. So we go up there and we play games and it's all fine. But a couple weeks later, Cole hits me up, just me. And he's like, bro, Jake and I have been hitting up parties. You trying to come? I was like, are you kidding me, bro? At the time, I was 18. I had never had a real girlfriend. I'd never done nothing. I was just fresh out of high school. Did nothing but hang out with my buddies and at my parents' house. I never did a thing. I was like, absolutely, we're going to this party. So I go up there, and then we're all sitting there getting ready, and I'm thinking about this, and I'm like, man, this is crazy. Like, I'm about to go to an actual college party tonight with real college girls. I got my homies here. I've never drank before. I don't know if they're going to be drinking or not, but whatever. I'm going to see what happens. So we go to Qdoba or B-Dubs or whatever, and we're walking back to the dorm, and then Cole tells me, he's like, hey, man, they're going to be drinking there tonight. And I was like, all right, that's cool. And he's like, are you going to drink? And I was like, I don't know, maybe, sure. I was like, sure, I'll try it. I was 18. I'd never had it before at all. So I was like, yeah, I'll drink tonight. Let's do it. Cole's like, all right, dude. So Cole, Jake, and I, and his roommates, we go to this house. It's like a frat house. And I walk up there. It's like down, like it's kind of like in an alley. It's kind of like in a... it's kind of like a dingy house. So I walk down these concrete stairs, and there's this frat boy standing outside, and he's taking money, and he's got a bunch of cups in his hand. He's like, $5 a cup, $5 a cup. So we all give this guy $5, and then he gives us a cup. So we walk in the house, and it's an old house in Milwaukee. It's one of them houses. And there's like stacks of beer cans everywhere. There's beer bottles. There was like a bunch of hypebeast guys with girls watching like a boxing match on the TV. And I remember thinking at the time, like looking at those guys sitting on the couch, I was like, dude, those guys look older than me, like significantly. And those guys look like men. Like, obviously they were only like 22 or 21. But at the time I was like, those dudes look like men, dude. Like... this is crazy that we're walking up in here. So we go downstairs, and I look at Cole, and I was like, what's up with this $5 a cup thing? And he's like, all right, bro, so this is how it works at college parties. There's two things to drink here. There's beer, and there's something called WAP. And I was like, what's WAP? And he's like, it's really, really crappy, cheap vodka mixed with grape Kool-Aid. I was like, that sounds horrendous, but you know what? I've never had alcohol before, so it might be good. So Cole's like, all right, let's go get a drink. So I walk into like the bar room area. This is like it's just like an old concrete basement. There's like no real furniture or anything. It's just a bunch of rooms. So we walk into this room, and there's this like massive keg of Miller Lite. And this frat boy guy, I guess, was trying to open it, but then he did it the wrong way. So like the pop like partially explode. The top of the keg partially kind of exploded, and like beer shot up all over in the air and all over everybody. It got on my shirt. It was a beer explosion. So I think he blew like a quarter of the keg on the ground. So whatever, he fixes it, and then he's like, "You want a beer?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I get this beer and I smell it, and I'm like, well, it smells like beer. I mean, I've smelled beer from my dad and stuff, and so I'm like, well, let's drink it. So I taste it, and you guys, a lot of you guys probably know what beer tastes like. It's just bread, watery, slightly carbonated, yeasty. It's just, it's just beer. So I'm like, whatever. So I drink like 2 beers, and then I drink a big thing of this WAP, this vodka and Kool-Aid, and I killed this thing. And Cole was like, bro, how many of them things you had? I was like, I've had 2 beers, and I've had one of these WAP things. And he's like, you better slow down there, Sapper. And I was like, well, yeah, all right, for sure I will. I'm not going to drink no more. So then the alcohol starts hitting me. And I've never been drunk before at all. And I remember being like, bro, this is crazy. Like, I felt like I couldn't walk straight. I couldn't hear stuff properly. Like, everything sounded... It sounded like my eardrums were... You know how, like, when you have water stuck in your ears? It sounded like that. Like, everything was muffled, and, like, things were kind of blurry, and I was, like, stumbling around. But then I'm like, I hear, like, the music going on in the dance floor. And I was like, bro, that's the dance floor. That's where the girls are at. So I walk out there, and this alcohol's hitting me, and it's hitting me hard. And I decide I want to show off to the girls who are at the party. So I walk into the middle of the dance floor, and I start thinking about what type of dance moves I want to do. And I was really, really into WWE at the time. So instead of, like, doing normal dance moves, like a little shuffle or whatever, and, like, chatting people up and just talking, I start doing WWE moves in the middle of the dance floor. And I'm not doing, like, regular, like, punches or little grapples. I did the Roman Reigns Superman punch, where I ran across the room, and when I got to the middle of the room, I jumped as high as I could in the air, and I punched the air as hard as I could, because that's what Roman Reigns did. And then I tried doing the RKO from Randy Orton, like, on myself, kind of. And then I, like, tried doing, I think it was like a Stone Cold Steve Austin stunner. You got this big overweight kid doing WWE moves and running against the air and running across the room and doing a Superman punch, and he's trash drunk, and he's never been drunk before in his life. This was me, like, it was just insane. So whatever, I think some dude told me to calm down, and I think he was like, you got to chill out with all that, and I was like, all right. So I go talk to Cole, and he's playing like Pong or whatever. And then I almost tripped over this guy. So I almost tripped over this guy, and this guy started getting upset at me. And he's like, hey, brother, what's up? I was like, oh, I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry, man. So I walk up the stairs. I got to go to the bathroom. And I remember standing in line in the bathroom, and, like, people are trying to talk to me. And I'm telling them, I'm like, yeah, I've never been drunk before. This is the first time I've ever had alcohol. That's all I kept telling everybody. I was like, this is the first time I've ever drank. That's all I said. And everybody's like, whoa, cool. Because they're all college kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've already been doing this stuff. I was not a college kid. I was just visiting my buddies. So, like, they're like, whoa, that's crazy. And, like, these girls were asking if they can cut me in line. I'm just stumbling around, just, doing just dumb stuff. This isn't, like, a crazy story. This is just the experience that happened. So I walk back downstairs, and Cole looks at me, and he's like, all right, man, it's probably time to leave. I think we should probably get going here. And I was like, what, for real? And he's like, no, we got to go, my friend. And I was like, all right. He's like, yeah, you just got to listen to me on this. So Jake comes from somewhere, and Jake had, like, he managed to get marker, like, blue Sharpie all over his face somehow. Like, somebody drew a blue Sharpie on his face. And he's really drunk. So we all walk out of the house, and then Cole's like, we're all pretty drunk. And Jake's got blue Sharpie marker drawn all over his face, and we got to get past the security officer. How are we supposed to do this? And I was like, dude, I don't know what to do. And somebody was like, okay, we'll go in there. Jake, you turn your head to the right because the security guard's sitting at the desk on the left. So make sure you just turn your head, act like you're sneezing or wiping your shirt or something. Just don't look at the guy, and we'll go in there, and then we'll swipe it and sign us in, and you stand there, everything's all good. But if we get busted, we're fricked. That's the end of it. We had no other plan. I wouldn't have gotten in trouble because I didn't go to the school, but they would have gotten busted. So, and it, like, college just started for them. So we walk into the security office, and the plan worked. Thank God. Praise the Lord, the plan worked. We go up the elevator, and this is when the alcohol is starting to get bad for me. I'm like, dude, I gotta lay down. This is getting crazy. So they're like, all right, let's just go into Cole's room. So we go into Cole's room, and everybody's sitting there, and I'm laying on the top bunk on Cole's roommate's bunk. And Cole turned on WWE. He turned, because we were all really into WWE at the time. But I was the only one that did the dance moves at the party. So we turn on this match, and it's Stone Cold Steve Austin versus somebody at WrestleMania. And I just remember laying there, and my head was spinning, and I was like, what's going on? It was just a bad feeling. So I'm rolling around for like 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden I hear ding, 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 Stone Cold, Stone Cold. And Stone Cold won the match, and Cole got so excited, and we all had a lot of alcohol. Cole got so excited that he was holding and eating a family-sized bag of goldfish, like the huge carton-sized bag. He got so excited that Stone Cold won the match that he picked up the bag and started shaking it all across the room and shook an entire family-sized bag of goldfish and dumped the entire bag all over the floor. It was smashed into the carpet. People were stepping all over it. And I'm just like, I'm looking at this nightmare happening. So then I just fall asleep right there. I just went right to the crib just after I saw that. And I woke up the next morning and I was like, I don't have a headache, praise God. And I look over, and the first thing I see is the entire room absolutely littered with goldfish. And people's shoes all over. I still got a picture of it. Man, I should have made that the thumbnail for the video. Actually, I might make that the thumbnail. But you know what? I just looked at it. I looked at Cole. And Cole looks at me and he goes, bro, we need an adult. That's the end of it. We got it cleaned up. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Speak with you again soon. Peace.